All right, I'm creating a Pong game, and these are the blocks so far. And what I'm going to do now is show you how to add some sound effects to the game, and you'll also just make the game look a little bit better. Okay, just by changing the background color of the canvas. Okay, so anyway, on the canvas, just to make the game look a little better, I'm going to make the canvas light gray, so at least you can see where the canvas and the score and all that stuff is separated. Okay, no big deal there. For sound effects, the first thing I'm going to do is go to media, and I'm going to add a sound component. The player component's usually for longer, works better for longer sound clips, and this is just for real short clips like we have. And I've already loaded up a bunch of very small sound clip files. Okay, and we're going to use these guys in our app. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the blocks, and essentially what I want to do is, when the game over, play one sound. If the ball hits any of the other three edges besides the bottom edge, which gives the game over, play a different sound. And then finally, when the paddle hits the ball, play a third sound. Okay, so it's pretty simple, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm just going to go and change the source of the sound. So the source is the file that's going to play when you do a sound.play. So I'm always going to want to do two things: set the source and then play it. Okay, and so what's the source file I'm going to set? So when I hit the bottom edge, I'm going to want to set the source to I'm going to set it to buzzer. Okay, so I need a text block, which is the buzzer.mp3. So I'm just going to grab one of those guys. Make sure you type these in exactly the same as the file names you loaded. Okay, and there's my buzzer.mp3. So set the source to buzzer.mp3, play it. I could have three separate sound components. I wouldn't have to do this, but a lot of times think of the sound component as almost like a radio or a iPod where you can change what's playing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to just copy these blocks, and I'm going to now want to set the source. For any other edge, I'm going to set it to. Let's see what else I got down here. I've got no ink, which is that's going to be for my paddle. And let me go to the designer so I can see my media files better. Note.wave is the one I want for here. So I'm going to change this to capital note.wave. Just another sound file. You can use whatever sound files you want, and then of course I want to play it. And then finally, kind of the same thing one last time. When the ball hits the paddle, I'm going to do the same kind of stuff, except I'm going to use a different sound effect. And this one's going to be called No Ink. .mp3. Okay, so my phone is projecting onto the screen. You can see it here. So I'm going to play the game and see if we're actually going to get some sound effects. So I'm going to hit start. And so there's the sound effects playing. And somehow I'm hitting the thing every time. Let's make sure I lose it. And there we go. There's the buzzer. Alright, so pretty easy to do sound effects. The key is just use one sound component, change the source, and make sure you get your file names exactly the same as some of the files you've loaded into your media area, and then click play. And just one note, we could since we've got this repetition, we could create a procedure called play sound, which would have these two blocks, and the caller would just send the file name of the thing they want to play.